Hi, it's Geraldine here to do the tea leaf reading for the summer solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere. It also marks Indigenous Peoples Day and it is the first day of summer. So how's everyone doing? You may notice some changes in your appetite, maybe your sleep patterns, energy levels at the moment. Definitely there's a lot of energy building with this big planetary alignment on the 24th that I spoke about in the previous reading there. You also might be feeling that you just want to get things dealt with and get that to-do list done. So maybe if you have things you need to say to another person, some issues with them that you really need to get out, this is the time, okay? And just again, since that whole eclipse season, we're still, in that sort of energy. I mean, it doesn't go away right away. You're in it for around the 6 months. And definitely it is a time still for cutting out those relationships that are harmful to your health, okay? That the ones that really drain you. All right, so you do maybe see that that's still sort of an ongoing issue for you. So for women in particular at this time, you might want to consider working with a sunstone. This is a beautiful sunstone here, and it has many benefits which you can read up on, but one of them is the ability to help us with assertiveness and to assist in getting things done. So just might be one of those that you might want to carry with you at this time. It is also said to carry the divine masculine energy, just like the moonstone carries the divine feminine energy. So they complement each other. Okay, now in the tea leaves, it was a busy but balanced cup. I was showing the usual outdoor activities, the golfing, camping in the forest, actually with a tent. There was some tubing and climbing. So again, there are many more, but I'm often showing just a few at this time of the year just to highlight them, or different outdoor activities for the various seasons. Now, definitely you don't have to go too far, spend too much on petrol there. There are lots of amazing things to do just right on your doorstep. So maybe to try and consider making this a summer to remember, especially if you have little ones, because I was showing the faces of these joyful little kids, and just imagine them saying, that was the best summer ever, so it was definitely a feeling of that we could really make a bigger effort for them, okay? Now it's funny, before the reading I was just noticing the mountain tops and thinking, gosh, there's still a lot of snow up there. And then as I got into the cup, I was showing the word melt. So I just felt like maybe, we just need to be extra aware of this. We've had a lot of rain here in Alberta. We've also still got this spring melt to come, as there's, a big snowfall there last week even, but still a lot of snow to come down. So just, something that I've always warned my boys about whenever they were heading out to the river, tubing or fishing or anything like that, carry a rope, just keep these words in mind. And this was off a public information film whenever I was a kid: reach, throw, wade, row. Like, don't jump into the water after anyone ever, keep a rope with you, throw something out that they might be able to catch and you can get them in, all these things. So keep a rope with your group. And really be water safe. So that was just something that really was coming, just sort of seeing what I did there. I was also showing a mountain to climb, like a really big mountain, and a high-heeled shoe. So I mean, if you're literally going to the mountains, please don't climb in a high-heeled shoe. Bring the right footwear and the right clothing. I mean, definitely I've been stuck on a mountain before too, where the weather just changed from absolutely scorching to like a torrential downpour, and I mean, we were really soaked. So it can change very quickly, and always do let somebody know, of course, where you're going. Now also, if you're starting on a new career or a new life journey, don't get caught up with how steep that mountain climb is at the time when you're starting. Just enjoy the journey, and you will reach the top when it is the right time. When something's meant to be, it's going to be, and you may as well just enjoy the ride, okay? I was shown another rose in this cup as well, just as I was with the last one. So if you've been pushing away love, or just maybe giving up on it, consider opening up to love again. But of course you want to try and do things differently this time, alright? So, I mean, we often think that we're great just the way we are and we don't need anybody. And definitely, while that is true, we don't need anybody to complete us. You know, we have all the tools that we need, okay, to get along in this life. But obviously, you know, there are various reasons for wanting to be with a person, okay, especially if you're wanting to start a family, or, you know, you're just wanting that companionship and whatever that is for you, okay. And it's really just, you know, just thinking too about what that adventure might look like ahead, if there is a compatible partner to share it with. You know, the moonstone to your sunstone, that yin to your yang, and vice versa there. So anyway, something just to think about, you know. If you have rain at the present and you don't usually conserve water, you don't really need to do that, you don't think about it, it's a good time actually to get into that practice, you know, and have rain barrels. You don't have to pay a lot of money to get, you know, buckets of rain and whatever. But if you're having just a good amount of rain, it's a good thing to do, just to practice saving it for now, and then use that later on, just for the garden. I was showing somebody just with their little watering can there, and just using that, you know, for the garden and the fruit trees, okay, because it's not always like that. It's not saying drought or anything here, but I know there are places really struggling with that. So while you have it, conserve it, okay. I was also shown a money sign after that, and that could represent the savings whenever you do conserve water, you know, and you might not have even realised, let alone what it can do for the environment, okay. So anyway, the dollar sign there, it's a money sign it represents for me in the tea leaves. You know, it's like, okay, what can you sell? What service maybe can you charge for? Because I was also seeing people very worried about money again, and it definitely is time to be resourceful if you haven't had to be that way in the past. So definitely there is money coming in, but you just have to maybe be resourceful to get that money flowing. So, I mean, there are lots of books and YouTube videos and everything on money saving tips, honestly, and, you know, definitely can be something to get excited about, because it is very empowering. You know that you can change your life by doing that. I mean, you just think about the people who saved enough money during COVID to be able to buy a house, because they weren't out every weekend spending money, eating out, you know, several times a week, and, you know, buying that $6 coffee and whatever. So, I mean, you'll see things like that. What people did with their money was amazing. Okay, so I did then just go ahead and pull a little card, because it is Solstice, and I love The Spirit of the Wheel deck by Linda Ewashina, and just because it is Indigenous Peoples Day, so if you can maybe see this a tiny bit with the sun shining in now. And the card is the Rest and Cleansing Moon card. It relates to balanced relationships, self-expression, boundaries. It's number 17. And, you know, going back to the reading again, you know, people born under this moon are naturally very gentle and caring towards others, and it does represent the Aquarian season there. So that's in Western and tropical astrology, of course. But, you know, it is okay to take a break for yourself, to set boundaries, you know, and as I say, going back into that reading, you know, if you're about to try and open up to love again, you definitely want to be loving yourself first, okay? Love yourself enough to be able to develop special relationships with people who reciprocate the love and support that you so freely give, okay? And that's very typical, again, of the Aquarian type. However, they can close the door very quickly, being an air sign, use that sword and cut things off very quickly. But, you know, there are ways to help you to move into a healthier relationship, and that's what this card is saying, and it does take a bit of work, definitely, for some of us for sure. Well, that's all I have, and maybe you want to practice some rituals this evening. You know, go out and light a little fire, and you can certainly charge crystals in this sunlight, not just moonlight, but my sunstone there is going to be sitting in the sunlight all night. And you know, you can maybe just have a look at some videos that were taken around the world, you know, Stonehenge and that. People have done, you know, big rituals over this time. Just very neat actually to see how people celebrate this time of year. So take care, and I will be back with you then again for the next moon reading. And just, as I say, look after yourselves and sort of conserve that water and be safe. Okay, take care folks. Bye bye.